We're just going to go check out our new 3D printing area. We've invested some more money into some new 3D printers.
This is our new printer setup. We've just made an investment of about £90,000. We've got what is known as a SLS printer, which is powder-based. We've got a couple of FDM machines, which is your PLA plastics. You can do carbon nylon, PLA carbon as well. And then we've got the resin printer as well.
What have we got in here?
In here is a front wing snubber set. So basically we've printed this on the resin printer. So these are all the little snubbers that go on the front wing. Print them on the resin printer, then you wash them in the little wash tank. Raise. So what you do is once you've printed off there, you take off, slide in here, and then it goes in there, washes for 10-15 minutes, which gets all the excess resin off. So these have just come out of there, and then they've gone into the microwave.
Yep.
And then you have like pre-cure cycles, which you then just cook them for about half hour or so at 60 degrees, which then just bakes the resin in a UV light.
And then after that, all that gets broken off?
Yep, so all the little bits you get rid of,
yep.
Break it all off, and then that will go into trim then for the guys to sandblast and then bond straight onto the front wings. The FDM printers we're using for doing like our front wing mounting parts and stuff like that. So as you can see, nice smooth finish, don't have to paint them. So these go on our front wings, which are carbon camera mounts then bolt to.
How much percentage of the car do you think we 3D print?
I wouldn't say it's a huge amount, but there is a lot going on. There's lots going on all the different parts.
Lots of little brackets.
Yeah, so we do all our like arms, which go from the rear wing pylon shroud to the rear wing.
Yeah.
We design these. These are all to match what the team's ones look like as well. We're doing our steering wheels and stuff like that now on this SLS powder printer. So this is a nylon glass fiber. So it's nylon with glass in it as well.
And what part is that off the car?
So this is a halo part. So this is a bit that we bond on top of the halo
yep.
for the Williams FW45 car. Because of the nylon glass fiber, it's a good durable material. It's a lot easier to then paint as well. You can literally come straight out there and almost straight into paint once it's been processed. So this uses like a powder. So it lays a thin layer of powder and then uses a laser to go through it. And then it will put more powder down, another laser. We can print 3 steering wheels in 22 hours, whereas previously it would take us 3 days to do that. So this basically works in a build chamber, which is one of these. Inside there, this platform lowers as it puts the dust in and keeps lasering in there. And then once you've finished, it's cooled down, put it in here, it pops up. It's a bit like digging for dinosaurs. You basically just brush away all the excess dust.
Nice.
And you get all your
Bring
parts
my boys in.
Yeah. So all our parts then come out, which are then ready to sandblast and paint.
All right, so I'm here with Jim, trim shop team leader. We go way back. Where do we work, Jim?
Mercedes, Jordan.
How long did you work in F1 for?
Almost 40 years I've been composites and Formula One.
What happens in the trim shop?
We've got a list of how many cars we're going to make. Ultimately, we get the carbon fibre in from the laminating as a raw product, and then on here, we have scribe lines that we cut to the scribe lines, take the sharp edges off, fit that onto the suspension on the wishbones. So this is me bringing the car in, and then the lads will take the parts and start putting them all together. RB18 Red Bull on the go at the moment on the chassis. We've got a nose box which we've done a pre-fit on it. Do you want to see a pre-fit? A pre-fit is to make sure it fits before it goes to paint. Once it's painted, we don't want to be drilling the holes off again. Yeah, that's it. You've done that before, haven't you? So it's just to make sure that the fit on the chassis and the nose are the same profile.
Does it fit?
So yeah, that fits. I'm happy with that. You happy with that?
I'm more. If you're happy, Jim, I'm happy.
I'm going to say it's a long time since you've done that, isn't it? You were never front jack man though, were you?
Oh, it's front jack man, going on, front right, front left, wheel on.
Fueler? I've done fuel.
No, I didn't do fuel. Did you do the fuel rig?
I've done fuel rig.
You ever catch on fire?
Yeah. I was in the sports cars in Japan a few times, and then you open the tank and it's water fed and you get fuel all over you, in your eyes, in your mouth. Run to the toilet to wash your eyes because you can't find anything, and nightmare.
So when I went to IndyCar, they wanted me to do the pit stops, do the wheel gun. And I said, I ain't doing it because of the methanol, and you can't see if you're on fire or not.
No.
In IndyCar, if you catch on fire, you roll on the floor. I ain't trusting anyone to put me out.
Exactly, yeah.
So I said, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, look, I did Le Mans. We had a fire there. I was fueler. And it was James Weaver drove up the pit lane.
Yeah.
6 o'clock in the morning, I'm stood there with a fuel hose and there's a ball of flames coming up the pit lane. I'm thinking, what do I do with this? I got out of the way and he sort of opened the door, put the car out. I ran off with a fuel hose. I thought, I'm not
You still have to refuel it? Still have to put fuel in?
No, he was finished. Blowout on the rear right, took the turbo, the wastegate off the turbo and just set the car on fire and it was gone. So that's the floor, that goes on the floor, and then this is all the bodywork. We have cutouts, little brackets, fastenings that we put in, the anchor nuts, and then we can screw all the bodywork onto the car. So we'd build that up as part of the body, and then the engine cover would sit down. We'll do that. So it creates a shell with where the engine would normally go. So we do all pre-fits on that prior to it going through to paint and then through to the race bay.
Got a massive splinter, Jim.
Have you got one?
Yeah.
I've got loads. I've got them growing inside me from 30 years ago. But our job is to make sure when the race boys get it, they don't have to do any extra work. They can literally put it together like a jigsaw. This is Alex. He's working on the RB19 shop wing. Yeah, so these are the jigs we made up to make sure that every time we make it, it's made exactly the same every time. So we got a gluing station, all the consumables, and then a bonding up area. After you, Bert. So this is our grinding room, similar to what we got in the paint shop, an extraction system on the back wall. We come in here, and when we're cutting the carbon down, it gets a lot of carbon dust, which is not good for you.
This is a downdraft bench, Jim. What does it actually do?
Inside, we got filters, and what it does, it draws the dust away from your face. So when you're cutting and grinding, it's not going into your face and your face mask.
So earlier on your job list, you said you've got to do 5 lamp bases. These are for our lay shaft and gear lamps for our shop. So these guys in here don't only just make products for our show cars, they make products for our shops.
And me personally, I love it here. I think it's one of the best jobs I've ever had.
Are you just saying that to me?
I'll say that to anybody. I've told,
What,
I've told
any job
anybody.
you got, or just me?
Well, no, I've told everybody.
joking, Jim.
Depends who pays the pay. Depends who's doing the pay rise, isn't it?
18 months ago, this was our paint shop, and we had a paint booth here, and we've changed it into the trim shop, but it keeps growing and growing, and we just keep investing more money and more money because we're making better products. When we first came in here, we were gluing head torches and lights and lamps, so the lighting's got in, and there's just been improvements everywhere. -7 degrees and working in balaclavas, but I'm after that pay rise, isn't it? This has now become our storage facility, so for stock, where we can keep our stock, equipment, batteries on charge. Heat lamp. Heat lamps.
For curing off any of the glues.
Yep.
Certain items you can't put in the oven. Some of the printed parts, they can't go, they're temperature controlled, so they can't go over sort of 50 degrees.
Yep.
Some of the newer stuff's coming in that can do.
You like having sneaky beers? Are you having sneaky beers?
Party time, that is.
Party time.
We've got a jig for a rear wing, 2 options of rear wings. We've got the single pylon and the double pylon. This would be a Williams single pylon, so we haven't got the grooves in the centre for the pickup points. The jig actually supports for the double pylon, a little bit's missing. So this is ready to be glued up, well, ready to go when I've got somebody free to start trimming that. This is a set of end plates that have come in raw, so we'll fit that into the jig as it gets trimmed. You have to...
Adult Lego.
It is, yeah.
Isn't it?
But you've got to trim it to the trim lines. So we build it all up, put the wing in, DRS flap, all your little elements at the back, and then the rear impact structure. So we put that on there. These then all glue up into the, so we're then creating, and there's a jig to locate where everything goes. And then the DRS pod that goes on the, what they call the horseshoe. And then that goes on from the rear of the car up into the rear wing to hold the rear one, as that's all built together with all the metalwork inside. So